Hi everyone, it's Friday, July 30th, 2020, 11 p.m. on a Thursday night. And I have a letter here from Amy Gonzalez. She's an innocent Texas nurse serving life without parole for a crime her father did in another state. It's dated 7/25, so 5 days ago. It says, "Hi, Aaron and family. I hope that you are all doing well. Praying that you are safe and healthy. I emailed Kay to let you know two things. First, that our 2255 motions are in the courts and are accessible through Pacer. So if you have the capability, you can post it to the site if it will allow you to do so. If not, don't worry about it. I just don't have access to get you a paper copy to post. Second, I tested positive for the coronavirus, so I'm in quarantine right now in a whole other unit. It is pretty kooky, to say the least. I was transferred, remember she's a nurse. I was transferred on 7/19 Sunday from Unit 3 South from a room that was just me. Approximately 40 plus people left in the unit when I left, because we are dropping like flies to Unit 2 South, to a room I share with 4 other ladies in a unit that has between 230 and 240 COVID positive people. There is a lady that is covering the outbreak here, so feel free to do whatever is necessary to refer to my web page. Kaylee Johnson. Let me read that again. There's a lady that is covering the outbreak here. Oh, maybe Kaylee Johnson. Oh, here's her email. kjohnson at startelegram.com. I guess it's a news agency. On Sunday 7/19. I was just handed a box of PALP out my locker contents. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just handed a box to pack out my locker contents to be stored in TV room on 3 South, and told only to take my hygienes, meds, clothes, basic necessities. I guess our Bible. I was not told that I was even positive for the virus, just handed a box. I was in the process of trying to go through some of my legal things from my regular locker to transfer to my legal locker, since it was pretty much hitting the unit quickly. So while I was running all of my legal stuff to my locker, my friend was packing my necessities to take with me to quarantine and pack my locker items in another bag. Thank God she knows me well enough to have included my Bible and favorite devotionals. So I walked across the compound from the hospital to the high-rise with my bag without being able to email or call my husband to let him know that I was going to quarantine due to the virus, and didn't know when I would be able to contact him. I got to 25 and was assigned to one box, and after I made my bed and unpacked what I brought and placed it in a locker, I was told to pack back up because I was moving to the bus stop. Not the kind of bus stop that I would wait at to take me home, unfortunately. I learned, and I'm not really sure how true this is, although it did come from staff, that the way the virus was introduced and spread so quickly through the institution was that when a lady from med surgery went out to the hospital and came back to the facility, upon her return, she had to sit on the bench and med-surg waiting during count time for her vital signs to be taken. She contacted the virus at the hospital and infected the sanitation worker that was also sitting on the bench in med-surg. The sanitation worker brought the virus back to the high-rise where she either lived or worked, and the virus spread like wildfire. The sanitation workers were pulled from that unit and tested and transferred, and then the same was done with the kitchen workers. The 3 sanitation workers were the first people to leave our unit. Then they tested all of our unit as well. I don't believe anyone else was taken from our unit for quarantine until after the staff transferred a lady from 2 South, which was already a hot spot, testing positive because she fell in her unit. So they moved her in with us, causing cross-contamination. Our entire unit was tested again, and the lady from 2S tested positive, along with several other, causing them to be moved to quarantine. It was just like sitting and waiting in a gas chamber for you to be called because you are next. It was a time of high anxiety for the inmates and staff both. So right now, I not have access to any legal work stored in my legal locker or the other unit address, etc. I'm providing all of this by memory because I do not have my calendar of events for exact dates and numbers. I have put in a cop-out request to the clinical director and unit manager to request to be transferred back to 3 South once our quarantine period is over, especially since I have a legal locker on the 3rd South containing all of my transcripts, appeals, motions, and paperwork for all my 2255 motion appeals. Thank God he has blessed me with Dennis's, who's keeping a close eye on the docket to see if the government has responded to our motion and the need for our response. He's awesome. I know that God has us covered by the blood of Jesus. The unit is a bit more chaotic than the other unit, with noise, people running around with their masks on their chin rather than covering their mouth and nose, etc. I even sleep with my mask on. It's hard to use the email and phones because they call you by room, so if they don't get your room again at nighttime, you get skipped. So you pray that you were able to speak with your loved ones before the 4 p.m. count so you can hear their voices, know that they are okay. Can you imagine your loved one locked up and you can't even find out if they're okay? Yesterday, I talked to Tati for 2 minutes only, just enough time for her to say, "Mama, where are you calling from?" I told her, "Prison, baby. Where do you think I'm calling from?" "Why?" she said, "Because the phone is real staticky." Then the phone hung up and I wasn't able to call her back. I need to hear their voices every day because I know worry is a sin, but with it being just my husband, daughter, with no other family around, and this virus going on, I worry if anything happens to Juan, then Tati is alone. I have to meditate and read the Bible to calm the anxiety associated with worrying about Juan and Tati. Dennis has even been so wonderful to offer to take Tati to his farm with his kids after quarantining her in a spare bedroom if anything were to happen, which I pray does not, but it is awesome to know that there is someone to depend on to help ease my worst fears. The only symptoms that I felt are a cough and runny nose. Then on Tuesday or Wednesday, I had a little bit of burning in my left chest, so I put in a sick call. The sick call staff told me that they could change my Pepsid to another one, Recivid or something, to help with the acid reflux. I explained to them that it was not from acid reflux, it was an actual burning sensation in my chest and lung. She palpitated my chest. She palpated my chest. I'm not sure what that word means. Asked if it hurt, and I said yes. I told her that I had breast cancer and had a bilateral mastectomy. She told me that if I had pain in my chest upon palpitation, then it was not in my lung. She told me to follow up with a mammogram. That sums up my sick call experience. Thank you and have a great day, was all I could say at this point. I emailed this to Dennis, and he said that he has done extensive research regarding this virus. He sent info to take a daily aspirin because most people that are dying of this is because they are developing blood clots in their lungs as well as other organs. He also sent me research about taking Pepsid high doses that also helps with the virus. Thank God I am on the daily aspirin and Pepsid, just not high dose already. He has been wonderful at getting legal and medical info to me. I told him I am ready to go back to 3 South, which is not so overwhelmingly better, yet I am really ready to go home. He said that he is working on the going home part for me. David and I are a package deal. I need him and I to both go home. Amen. It's bad enough being incarcerated for a crime you didn't commit and given a life sentence, but then being subjected to all of this virus stuff is way over the top. I have enough testimony to last me a lifetime already. I'm praying that I have your address in the computer. If not, I will have to email Kay to see if she can email it to me so I can send you this letter. Nothing in here is easy, and it just got so much harder. We finally got hot meals for the lunch after having cold sandwiches for 3 to 4 weeks. That was really the least of my worries, actually. It was a good weight loss program. The only thing that I have been doing over here is getting up early for a shower before everyone else wakes up, read my Bible devotional, pray my rosary, and then eat breakfast, read while I wait for my turn to use the phone or email. That pretty much sums up the day. Lots of prayer and Bible reading. I give God a prayer and Bible reading. I give God all the praise and glory for sustaining me through all of this, whom the other ladies complain. When the other ladies complain of one scrambled egg and 2 tortillas for lunch, I just tell them to be thankful for everything and ask Jesus to feed the 5,000 like he did before. I've not gone hungry. He always makes a way out of no way. I just continue to pray that his will be done, and I surrender all to him. I pray that his will and plan is better than ours. I'm sure it is. David said that there are 5 cases where he is at. I pray for him constantly. David's her brother in Terre Haute, Indiana, and she's talking about cases of COVID. They were locked down from 7/13 to 7/20 a week for executions for the death penalty. It has been heavy in my heart praying for stays of execution to be granted and for the abolishment of the death penalty and life sentences. I heard on the news where they did go forward with the lethal injection for one man who killed a husband, wife, and 8-year-old daughter. The victim's family was pleading to not go through with the death penalty. That speaks volumes. Please let me know how you all are doing. Know that I think of you, miss you, and pray for you constantly. Praying for your mother-in-law. Please send my love and prayers to all. I miss being able to communicate more frequently. I do have your cell phone number with me, so I will call when I can. Thank you all for your prayers, love, and support. God bless you. Peace, blessings, and love, Amy. Sorry, I had to write this in the dark. Hope you can read and understand it. P.S. I do know that one of the officers transported a lady to the hospital the night before and then came to work in our unit the next day, even though he wasn't quarantined and hasn't been working our unit. They told me this themselves. That's what Amy Gonzalez has to say from a Texas prison where she has life and her brother has life for a crime that her father committed. And it is a case setting precedents for internet cyber stalking. And it seems to me like this is a political prisoner as well. Please write to Amy and pray for Amy to get out of that hellhole. Her daughter only has her father, and if anything happens to Tati, Amy is very concerned. If anything happens to Juan, her husband, she's very concerned about Tatiana. These are the things that happen where people can't be producers and all you have left is moochers, looters, and bootlickers who produce nothing. Amy was a nurse for 25 years and barely ever went on a vacation. And her family has been ripped apart by a satanic, evil DOJ.